I love it. I already see a couple comments coming in on our Advantage Racing TV Facebook page where folks are tuning in. If you are tuned in live on the Advantage Racing TV page, right now we need you to do us a favor. This is week number 1. We've got to get the word out that this is all starting again. Share this video feed right now, because at 8:15 in 12 minutes, we're going to go into action here tonight. So if you are tuned in, share. If you're tuned in, give us a message. Let us know where you are watching from. And we're very, very excited to get into action here for the first of 10 weeks. And you know what, Scotty? We're going to start it off with things a little bit different. We never raced 410 sprint cars last year on the 10-week series, so we thought, what the heck? Week number 1, let's come right out of the gate with 410 Outlaw sprint cars. And tonight, we're at the USA Speedway down in Florida. This is a big way to kick off this 10-week SODAK iRacing series presented by Asphalt Pros. Sounds like we may have lost Scotty here for the moment being, but we have a big weekend coming up here. Trey Thiesenbitz checking in on Facebook already. Ashley asking if Alex Schriever has checked in to race here tonight. I don't know if Alex has checked in, but I can tell you we are at more than 50 drivers already signed up for tonight's racing program. And here's a little preview of how this is going to work. We've got some changes from last season with this SODAK iRacing series presented by Asphalt Pros. By the way, Asphalt Pros specializing in asphalt paving, repair, seal coating, and patching, as well as marking and striping all of your asphalt paving. One of the best things about Asphalt Pros, right there in their name, they're the professionals, and they're one-stop shop for all of your asphalting needs. We'll start tonight off with the Broken Arrow Whitetails Quick Time qualifications. Tonight's Quick Timer will pick up $25, courtesy of Broken Arrow Whitetails. We'll then go into our 5 Rusted's Design Center heat races here tonight. Each heat race winner picks up a $10 bonus, courtesy of Rusted's Design Center. Heat race number 1 brought to us by the Cabaret. Heat race number 2 brought to us by Liquor Mart South. Heat 3 from Volts Concrete and Construction. Shores Racing brings us heat race number 4, and Jack's Custom Rods will bring us heat race number 5, as you see Benjamin Schaefer making laps around the USA Speedway. Top 4 from every one of our heat races make it into tonight's Buzz Be Gone, a feature. Outside of those top 4 transfers, we'll have the C main here tonight. The top 4 finishers from tonight's C feature event go directly into the B main, which is brought to us by Caleb Johnson Racing. The Caleb Johnson Racing B feature event will transfer 4 finishers into tonight's 24-car, 30-lap, $50 to win main event. That's the Buzz Be Gone A feature to complete the night. Now, we talked about those Rusted Design Center heat races, the Broken Arrow Whitetails Quick Time Award, and that Buzz Be Gone A feature. If any driver can win all 3 of those that they are in, they'll pick up the Volts Concrete Trifecta bonus. That's, again, Quick Time, Heat win, and the feature win. That's worth $300. Yes, $300 from Volts Concrete to sweep the night of competition. Oh, by the way, we'll also have the Back Row Challenge. That's brought to us by Broken Arrow Whitetails. That tonight would pay $50, and if it is not claimed, it'll bump up to $60 next week and $10 more each and every week until it is claimed. If it's not claimed, it rolls into the Season Hard Charger Fund. We'll also have the Pivot Company's Hard Charger Award in tonight's Buzz Be Gone A main. That goes to $20 for the driver who advances the most positions in tonight's Buzz Be Gone main event. So a lot on the line here tonight. Again, good to see everyone tuning in. Hi, Nick Barger. Nick's putting money on Matt Jaretowski on the 1J car, looking for Towski to pick up the win. And if he does so, he'll pick up the $100 bonus from Nick Barger. Again, if you're tuning in to us tonight on the Advantage Racing TV Facebook page, absolutely free for the entire racing program here tonight, as it will be for all 10 of our events. Give the video feed a share, and after you do that, give us a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We'd love to know where all of the fans of this SODAK iRacing series presented by Asphalt Pros have tuned in to tonight for this opening night of 10 races on this series. Josh Hofer piloting the My Race Pass car number 94, a new addition to the league. You see him making his way around the USA Raceway right now. I'm going to pause here a second and see if we've connected with Scotty once again. Scotty, are you hanging around here tonight? Have we? Oh, Oskaloosa, Iowa, represented tonight, watching our races. That's pretty cool. Hello, Dalton. Hello, Colton. Good to see you guys here. Cody. Good to have Cody tuned in tonight from down there in the Siouxland to take a watch and a listen to everybody here tonight. So hearing that, Scotty will be connected back with us here in a couple of moments, and he'll be back here in time for tonight's Broken Arrow Whitetails Quick Time qualification. So again, great to have you all here tuning in on the Advantage Racing TV Facebook page. John, good to have you tuned in tonight. My name's Sean Neisted. I'm from the Property Solutions of America Midwest Sprint Touring Series, the Houston Speedway, the I-90 Speedway, and the RepairableVehicles.com Tri-State Late Model Series. And joining us here tonight on the broadcast will be the voice of the Off-Road Raceway of Norfolk, Nebraska, and also one of the voices from the new Raceway Park down there in the Sioux City area, and that will be Scotty DeYoung and Scotty Too Hottie. So we are both very glad to be part of this SODAK iRacing Series broadcast team once again this year on the Advantage Racing TV production, and so glad to have you guys tuning in here tonight. So keep giving it a share as we watch Jordan Opdahl rip around the racetrack in his 41 ride. Give us a like, give it a share, comment. We want to hear from all of you tonight as we bring you this opening night of action with the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. Checking the messages here. Troy checking in. Good to have Troy working the because again, if you don't know Troy Shores, you really should. First, he's a great guy. Second of all, you should know him because he does a lot of the behind-the-scenes work of this SODAK iRacing Series. Again, more than $4,000 on the line here this season. Thank you, John. Glad to have you tuned in here. Jeff Mott. Hi, Jeff. He put $50 on Troy Shores to pick up the win. And Matt Sturwald. Fancy feet, Matt Sturwald. Been a long time since I called you that, Matt. Remember that? What wedding dance was that? You were cutting a rug out there on the floor. Pretty cool. Lynn tuning in here tonight. She's giving a shout out to John and Jack's Custom Rods. Jack's Custom Rods will bring us heat race number 5. We'll see John Coots out there in his new look number 13 car coming up here tonight as well. We've got just a few more minutes left of tonight's practice session. Looks like 6 minutes on the clock. And so really looking forward to getting into our qualifications here tonight. All right, let me pull up a little thing called TeamSpeak. Let's see here. Scotty Too Hottie, Scotty DeYoung, are you back in action here tonight?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
I can hear you now.
All right, that's much better. Hey, opening night blues, right? We're going to have a couple of hiccups here and there, but you know what's the most important thing here tonight is, Scotty, is that, and this is almost guaranteed, these drivers, more than 50 that have assembled here tonight, are going to put on a show for me, you, and everybody tuning in on our broadcast.
That they are, and thank you to everyone tuning in on Advantage Racing TV's Facebook page for night number 1 here, the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. Had some audio issues earlier, but we're getting it figured out. Sean, it's good to have you back on the broadcast, calling some good racing here for this series once again. I'm looking forward to it. As we're on board right now with Tanner Koster, he was the champion for last season for the SODAK series in the number 97 car. And you talk about 410 cars, we have not seen them yet, and what a track to start off with at USA International Speedway, as well as 410s. Sean, this is going to be a great season here for.
Absolutely, Scotty, and we have competed this on this facility at this racetrack before with the SODAK iRacing Series, and it was with the 360 sprint cars. Now, if you're new to this, or maybe you're not a regular on iRacing, let's take you around this racetrack. This is a big track. Let's not make any bones about this. This is every bit of a half mile and then some. It measures out, some measurements put it at 6/10 of a mile. I've seen it up to 3/4 of a mile. It's a big track. It's got a wall all the way around it, but it doesn't drive like a big track. And now you're saying, well, that's crazy, Sean. 3/4 of a mile and doesn't drive like a big track. Now, how is that true? As you see the racetrack now, this is going to be very similar to what the racetrack is going to be like in our A-Main tonight. And that is gut slick. It's going to be slick from the bottom. It's going to be slick all the way up to the wall on the outside. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. It's probably one of those, your car warranty is about to expire calls. So the racetrack gets very, very slick. But the most difficult part of this racetrack, Scotty, and I know you were watching the practice show here last night, these straightaways are the hardest straightaways in all of iRacing. Not only do we get slick on these straightaways, particularly for these 410 sprint cars, they're going to spin their tires, but also these straightaways get very, very rough up there along the wall, and you'll actually see as we ride with Connor Hamilton, you'll actually see the straightaway wall, the straightaway groove, move down at points in the A-Main throughout the course of this. When it gets very slick up there along the wall, Scotty, you saw it in the practice sessions last night, it gets very hard to drive along the very top of the straightaways.
Yes, it does. And a lot of things that I noticed last night was coming off of the corners into the straights, they'll want to pull you down, and you have to be careful to make sure no one is below you, and we even saw some cars even shoot up the track sometimes too. So like you mentioned, Sean, a very slick track from top to bottom here at USA. That just makes it much more interesting, and make sure these drivers have the right setups on their cars.
Absolutely. As you're coming, particularly the exit of these corners get to be very, very difficult here. When it gets slick, the cars want to come down the straightaway, and they get very, let's call it dancy down the straightaways. The rear ends kind of bounce around on the cars as you're coming down these very, very long straightaways, and it makes it very difficult, frankly, to get side by side on straightaway action here at the USA Speedway. So you will see a lot of things happen on the straightaways. We were joking around in the drivers, as we've said before, we practice on Tuesday nights before our Wednesday nights broadcast. But last night we were talking about how it was almost easier to get wide open in the corners than it was on the straightaways. And that will be the case maybe when you get to the C-Main or the Caleb Johnson Racing B-Main tonight, and probably in the last 10 to 15 laps of tonight's Buzz Be Gone A feature. So we're seeing the last couple moments of practice going on the speedway right now. You see right about a minute left on the clock. Final chance for these drivers to get their cars dialed in. And once that clock expires, we will go very quickly into tonight's Broken Arrow Whitetails Quick Time Qualifications. And that will set the starting lineup for tonight's 5 heat races, all brought to us by Rusted's Design Center. Scotty, so excited to be here with you. So excited to get this 10-week series underway here in just a couple of moments.
That it is, and a big shout out and thank you to Advantage Racing TV, Tana and Blake and Ryan over here sitting to my left, producing the show. Ryan with the different camera angles now that you're going to see on this broadcast, and Blake working the production booth over, and Tana supervising everything. So a big thank you to those guys. And Sean, we're about to roll into time trials here.
So excited for that, as the clock going to expire here in just a moment or two, and we will get into those Broken Arrow Whitetails Quick Time Qualifications coming up here for the opening night of the SODAK iRacing Series, presented by Asphalt Pros 410 Outlaw Sprint Cars, for the first time ever with the series going to compete. And tonight we're at the USA Speedway. USA Speedway is a track down there in Florida, as it's actually a pavement track, but for the sake of iRacing, it's also a dirt track as we get set to go here for qualifications. Everybody gets 2 laps, and everybody kind of goes at the same time. As we talked about last season, Scotty, it goes very quickly. By the way, Broken Arrow Whitetails, a small whitetail deer farm near Jackson, Minnesota. You can look them up on Facebook to see their swag and great photos of some of their beautiful whitetails. Again, Broken Arrow Whitetails bringing us tonight's quick time qualifications, a $25 payout to tonight's quick timer. Seeing some of the cars out there on the speedway. Tanner Coster right now, top of the charts, a best lap of an 18:173. So the defending track champion now goes down to an 18:173 is his quick time. Jordan Gage, the 02, second quick at 18:243, and Jordan Opdahl, third quick. He'll bump down as Tyler Johnson goes to an 18:218, second quick for the number 5 Mopar ride. Jordan Gage now third quick. Austin Opdahl, Jordan Opdahl in the top 5. But right now, that mark to beat set by the 97 of Tanner Coster, an 18:173. Tyler Johnson in at second quick, 18:218. John Coots just jumped up the chart. The number 13 ride goes at 18:228. He sits third quick. Dylan Workman, always fast. Now he sits fifth quick, 18:242, as Lance Ripka, the 125 car, just jumped up with an 18:226 up to third quick. So the top 5 right now: Tanner Coster, Tyler Johnson, Lance Ripka, John Coots, and Dylan Workman sitting in the top 5 right now in our Broken Arrow Whitetails quick time qualifications. Right now, Tanner Coster in the catbird seat with that 18:173 for a lap time, looking to collect the $25 bonus. Also remember, we've got that $300 Volts Concrete trifecta bonus for the driver if they can win their heat race, win the A main, and do that all after setting quick time. That's $300 from Volts Concrete Construction in the trifecta bonus. We'll have to see now if Tanner Coster's time can hold up and if he can take the $300 out of ice cold Michelob's pocket here tonight. So just a couple more seconds remaining here on Broken Arrow Whitetails quick time qualifications, Scotty.
And Tanner Coster leaving right where he left off last year, the champ, 173 quick timer, as looks like we're about to roll into some heat races here.
Absolutely. Things move quick and furious with this SODAK iRacing series presented by Asphalt Pros. Heat race number 1 will be brought to us by the Cabaret, iconic bar and steakhouse up there in Carthage, South Dakota. Did you know they were featured in the movie Into the Wild? And you can look them up on Facebook and see all of their upcoming specials. The Cabaret bringing us the first of 5 Rustez Design Center heat races here tonight. Each heat race winner will pick up $10 from Rustez Design Center, where they can help you create a space that shows off your personal style and suits all of your needs. Scotty, do you have a look at that starting lineup for heat race number 1?
Not quite yet. I don't.
All right, I do. If you don't mind, I'll take a look at it. Here's a starting lineup for the Cabaret heat race number 1. It'll be Bruce Jones on the pole position, car number 17, and alongside him, he'll drive the number 04. It's Adam Cooper. Row number 2 on the inside, the Gurley Racing number 2, that's Brandon Grilly, and to his right will be the 43, that's Andrew Chenoweth. Third row on the inside, 02, Jordan Gage in the Throttle Down Motorsports entry, and Tanner Coster, your quick timer, starts outside the third row. Lining up in the 7th spot, car number 16, that's Travis Bott. He starts 7th and outside of the 4th row, the number 46, that's Joe Backus. Row number 5, the 22, Caleb Johnson on the inside outside, Corey Goodall in the 333. And coming off the back will be Dylan Sampson. The number 37 car lines up in position number 11. That's the starting lineup for your first of 5 Rusted's Design Center heat races here tonight. Heat race number 1 brought to us by the Cabaret. Beautiful Carthage, South Dakota. 8 laps the distance on all of our heat races tonight. The top 4 finishers go directly to tonight's Buzz Be Gone, a feature event. The finishers outside of the top 4 will either go to the Caleb Johnson Racing B main or tonight's C feature event. So A lot of racing here on this opening night of the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. And right there, we're one lap away from green flag action tonight, Scotty.
Yes, we are, and like we have mentioned a few times already, it is great to be back on iRacing. The only thing we could do when the pandemic hit, and we were so glad for it, and now back here again. You, the race fans, we want to welcome SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. Heat race number 1 about to kick off green here in just a few moments. We get a final car count tonight, Sean.
51 or so, I believe, checked in. Somebody on our Facebook page just said, let's go Stinky. I don't know who Stinky is, but all right. Go Stinky, I guess. Heat race number 1 brought to us by the Cabaret of the Rested Design Center Heat Races. Scotty, here comes that green flag.
Here it comes, and out to the race lead early. It's going to be Jones in the 17 car with Brandon Grilly right bar number 2. Some beautiful paint schemes here this year. Sean Adam in that 3rd spot, and then I believe Chenoweth is going to be in the 0-2 right behind them. But Bruce Jones leads lap number 1.
Yeah, we've got Andrew Chenoweth right there in the Mopar number 43. He runs in the 4th and final transfer spot just in front of Jordan Gage in the 0-2. Travis spot right now in 6th. Caleb Johnson has advanced up to the 7th spot, but keep in mind, just the top 4 will advance directly to tonight's A-main. Bruce Jones, the Tucker Rocket out front in the number 17 ride. He sets the pace. 2 laps in, 6 laps to go in heat race number 1, brought to us by the Cabaret.
And as we're on board with Adam Cooper right now, sitting in that 3rd spot. A little bit of single file racing right now in heat race number 1 with Bruce Jones still with the race lead. Brandon Grilly running in the tire tracks as we're on the front right suspension of Adam Cooper in the 04 car coming into turn number 3, Sean.
Yeah, I want to take a look a little bit deeper in the field right now, Scotty. The number 97 of Tanner Koster, our quick timer. He has lost 3 spots since the drop of the green flag, currently running in the 9th spot in car number 97. We now look back up front to the transfer spot, the number 43 of Andrew Chenoweth, ripping the high side of the speedway. Took a look to the inside of the 04 of Adam Cooper. Right behind him is the 02 of Jordan Gage. Chenoweth right now in the final transfer spot. Jordan Gage all over his tail tank as they race to turn number 3.
As they come into the full 02 of Jordan Gage all over the back transfer spot, and now catching up 04 of Adam Cooper in that 3rd place spot, almost 3 wide through 3 and 4 out on the front stretch. Contact is made, and the 43 car goes for a ride.
So Andrew Chenoweth out of a transfer spot going deep in the field. Jordan Gage now runs 3rd. Adam Cooper now has the final transfer spot, but Caleb Johnson, the Rookie of the Year in the 360 Sprint Car Division of the Knoxville Raceway. Yes, that Caleb Johnson. He's gone +4 since the drop of the green flag, and right now he's knocking on the door of a transfer spot into the Busby on A-main. The 22 runs in position number 5, trying to chase down the 04 of Adam Cooper. And, oh, that's it. That's a checkered flag. Bruce Jones is going to take the win. Brandon Grilly finishes in the 2nd spot. 3rd place going to go in the finish here of your first heat race to Jordan Gage, and Adam Cooper gets that final transfer spot. Caleb Johnson was in 5th, Tanner Koster 6th, Joe Backus 7th, Travis Bott 8th, Corey Goodall was 9th, Dylan Sampson was 10th, and Andrew Chenoweth finishes in 11th in the Cabaret heat race number 1. We'll get set now for heat race number 2 for the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. It's the Rusted Design Center heat races, and heat race number 2 is brought to us by Liquor Mart South of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And Scotty, let's take a look at the starting grid for this one.
And starting on the front row is going to be the 39 car. That is Evan Miller. To the outside, he wants to go fast. 53, Trey Thiesenvitz. Inside of row number 3, driving the 10 car, that's Brett Nelson. To the outside, the 5 of Tyler Johnson. Inside of row number 4, driving the 25 car, that is Shane Lewis. And to the outside, the 132, Brian Hoeing. Inside of row number 5, it's going to be Peyton Seitz in the 325 and Andrew Allers to the outside in the 14.
Race number 2 brought to us by the Liquor Mart of Sioux Falls, a quality liquor store in the heart of Southeast Sioux Falls with a great selection of craft beer, wine, and liquor. That's Liquor Mart South, bringing us heat race number 2 in the Rusted Design Center heat races here tonight for the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. Well, I can tell you one thing already, Scotty, and that is the Volts Concrete Trifecta bonus is out as the 97 of Tanner Koster unable to win his heat race after setting quick time here tonight in the Broken Arrow Whitetails Quick Time Award. So we'll set that $300 on the bench, and we'll come back for that next Wednesday night. By the way, we're back here, same time, same place. Next Wednesday night, we'll change the tracks up. We'll head to a short track next week, and we'll change the cars up. We're going to go into pro-level late models next Wednesday night at the Lima Land Speedway. So we're going to say goodbye to the big track and goodbye to the sprint cars for week number 2, and we'll say hello to Bull Ring and late models. That's next Wednesday night, the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros right here on the Facebook page of Advantage Racing TV. Heat race number 2 brought to us by the Liquor Mart. Scotty, let's get us a green flag.
As green flag is going to come out, it is going to be the 33 to the race lead by here comes the 1K. That is going to be Travis Schurz, who wins last season. And going to in that second place spot, but Ethan Johnson out in front.
Yeah, Ethan Johnson right now quicker than your internet connection, Scotty, as you kind of got a couple of burbles coming out of you there with the internet connection down there in Northwest Iowa. But great battle for the race lead right now. Ethan Johnson has it, the 33, but trade these and bits all over him. These and bits to the inside as they hit turn number 1. He'll complete the slider up to the wall. He's got the race lead. Johnson looks back to his inside. Inside of him is Travis Schurz. 3 cars racing for the lead. Right now, Tyler Johnson has the final transfer spot directly into the Must Be Gone A-Main. Trade these and bits off of turn number 4. You see how the track brings him down. Here comes the 33 of Ethan Johnson taking a look to his inside as the race off of turn number 2. It's Trade these and bits leading on lap number 4.
These and bits wants to go fast, and he is currently in the hot seat right now, out in front in 53. Ethan Johnson hanging on to that second place spot. Here comes Tyler Johnson in the 5 car. Where did Johnson come from? As you're going to see Travis Schurz riding on the bottom, now sliding up the track, almost making contact with Brett Nielsen. But it is Tyler Johnson. Third now, Travis Schurz hanging on to that 4th place in the 4th final transfer spot.
Yeah, Travis made some contact with the inside wall there in his Kelby Watt Racing scheme number 1K. He runs in the 4th and final transfer spot. Brent Nielsen was able to close in on him there momentarily. Now Travis looking strong. Race for that 2nd spot. Let's take a look at that coming down the front straightaway. We go on board with Johnson right now. Ethan Johnson runs 2nd. Tyler Johnson in 3rd. All over Ethan as they come off of turn number 2 and down the long back straightaway. By the way, Travis Schurz starting to reel them back in. We've got 6 laps in. We start lap number 7 right here with the white flag flying.
White flag in the air. Ethan Johnson trying to hold off Tyler Johnson as we got 3 wide coming off number 2. Trey Thiesbitz out in front though in the 53. Left the car on the counter. Goodbye, doubt. See ya. And it's going to be Thiesbitz picking up the win. Ethan Johnson, then Travis Schurz and Tyler Johnson, I believe, you're to the A.
Looks like Thiesbitz, Ethan, Tyler Johnson, 3rd. Travis Schurz will finish in the 4th spot and gets the direct ticket to tonight's A-Main event. The rest of your unofficial finish from heat race number 2, Brett Nielsen. The 10 car was 5th. Shane Lewis finishes 6th. Peyton Seitz in 7th. Brian Hoeing was 8th. Andrew Allers 9th. And Evan Miller finishes in the 10th spot. Heat race number 3 of 5 here tonight, the Rusted's Design Center heat races. Heat race number 3 brought to us by Volts Concrete Construction. Volts Concrete Construction has experience and talent for any job. Give them a call, 605-480-3672. They say give them a call anytime. Well, don't give them a call right now because right now the man behind Volts Concrete Construction is busy iRacing. But give them a call anytime for a free estimate, 605-480-3672. Here's the starting lineup for Volts Concrete Construction Heat Race number 3. On the pole, it's Crisscross, Christopher Moret in the 55 on the pole, and Connor Hamilton. They're tuned in at the Cabaret watching the number 3 car. He'll start outside row number 1. Row number 2, the My Race Pass 94, Josh Hofer on the inside, Karsten Hamilton, another fan favorite up there in Carthage in the 14. He'll line up outside of the second row. Row 3 made up of the 20 of Austin Opdahl inside, Lance Ripka, the 125 outside. Row number 4, Bob Bestman in the 15, the 111 of Ryan McCarty. And your 5th row, Alex Tijan in the 32 and the 91 of Dan Roman. 10 cars, 8 laps the distance. Heat race number 3 brought by Volts Concrete Construction. And the top 4 finishers get a direct ticket to tonight's Buzz Be Gone, a feature event. So just about set to go. We've got a pair of brothers in this heat race here. Connor Hamilton, Karsten Hamilton. They're going to start outside of rows 1 and 2. I got to race last night, and we learned last year Connor Hamilton loves to rip the high side of the racetrack in that number 3 machine. You could tell they're brothers. Karsten was doing a lot of the same last night. The 14 car was ripping the high side of the racetrack as well. So look for them to be on the top side of the speedway here as we get set for the green. Heat race number 3 brought to us by Volts Concrete Construction, live here on Advantage Racing TV's Facebook page. Takes the green flag. Good start there from the pole. Christopher Moret going to pull him down into turn number 1. He'll get to the top side. The 94 of Josh Hofer looks to the inside through the middle. Puts the right rear on the cushion. Connor Hamilton, Austin Opdahl run 3rd and 4th. They have the transfer spots as we hit turn 3. Up to speed for the first time off of turn number 4. Christopher Murray looking to lead lap number 1. Scotty. Oh, battle for the race lead as the 94 Josh Hofer looked to the inside, lost his momentum as he slid up the racetrack. That allowed Connor Hamilton right rear, right up there on the cushion, and he's coming forward. The number 3 machine now in the second spot. Hamilton right there all over Moret. Moret slipped down the racetrack. Hamilton up there, nearly make contact now from turn number 2. Down the back straightaway now, side by side for the race lead. And here comes the 20 of Austin Opdahl into the mix. New race leader, it's Connor Hamilton in the Cabaret, car number 3. He'll lead off of turn number 4. Cross back to the second spot. Austin Opdahl runs 3rd. Josh Hofer right now has the final transfer spot as they rip the top side of the speedway off of turn number 2. We've got 3 laps in. They'll come to the halfway point of the Volts Concrete Construction heat race now as Moret hits the wall, gets the car loose. Losing that second spot, he slips down the racetrack. He's back to the 4th position. Here comes the number 14 of Karsten Hamilton. Hamilton on the outside looking in. Do a direct transfer to the A main. Right now, Christopher Moret continues to run in the final transfer spot. Moret, a little bit of contact with the concrete on the front straightaway, got a little out of shape. Now his race going to come to an end, and the benefactor of that is the 14 of Karsten Hamilton. Karsten Hamilton making his first start with the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros up to the 4th spot. Out front, his brother Connor Hamilton leads in the number 3 machine, pulling the field back there on the top side of turn number 1. As we go on board with 3rd place running 94 Josh Hofer, you see right in front of him the 20 of Austin Opdahl. They head into turn number 3, top 3 all on the cushion. They'll come down the front straightaway and see the white flag from Barney in the flag stand. 1 lap to go in this Volts Concrete Construction heat race as they make their way down the back straightaway. Right now, Karsten Hamilton with the advantage over Lance Ripka for the final transfer spot. Ripka runs in 5th. But it is all Connor Hamilton. The Cabaret, Bangham Outdoors, number 3, going to pick up the win here in Volts Concrete heat race number 3. Austin Opdahl punches his ticket to the Buzz Be Gone A main, finishes 2nd. Josh Hofer was 3rd, and Karsten Hamilton will make the big dance here tonight with the number 14 car, finishing in the 4th spot. The rest of your unofficial finish here tonight from the Volts Concrete Construction Heat Race number 3 has the 125 of Lance Ripka in 5th. Bob Bessman was 6th in the 15. Ryan McCarty 7th in the 111. Alex Tejan finishes 8th. Dan Roman was 9th. And Christopher Morit finishes in position number 10. 2 more heat races tonight from the Rusted's Design Center heat races. Again, every heat race winner tonight picking up a $10 bonus from Rusted's Design Center up there in beautiful Pipestone, Minnesota. Keep in mind, Rusted's Design Center offers a wide range of interior designs and installation services, including flooring, cabinet, countertops, and complete kitchen and bathroom remodels, and the design process all the way through the complete installation. They will walk you through that and help you with that. So check them out up there in Pipestone. That's Rusted's Design Center. Heat race number 4 is brought to us by Shores Racing. Starting lineup will have Ross Van Eck on the pole position in the My Race Pass 444. Kyle Roseboom, the 42, starts outside row number 1. Row number 2 on the inside, that's the 1J, Matt Jaretowski. He'll start in the 3rd spot with Michaela Volts. Ice Cold Michelob starts outside of him in position number 4. Shooter Plagueman, the number 24. Kevin Plagueman starts in the 5th position with John Coots, the Jack's Custom Rods, number 13. Outside of him, starting 6th. Row number 4, made up of Colton Anderson, the 514, and the 99, Aiden Lloyd, starting alongside him. And the 5th row, Austin Hahn in the 500. Benjamin Schaefer in the 89 will start outside the 5th row. That's your 10 starters. 8 laps is the distance here on the 4th out of 5 heat races tonight. This one brought to us by Shores Racing in the Rusted's Design Center heat races for the SODAK iRacing Series, presented by Asphalt Pros. I hear they're doing some laptop work down there in beautiful Northwest Iowa, trying to get Scotty Tuati dialed back in with our broadcast here tonight. Ross Van Eck, the My Race Pass, 444, going to set the pace. Kyle Roseboom next to him on this 4 out of 5 heat races. Again, if you are watching us on the Advantage Racing TV Facebook page, first, thank you very, very much for tuning in. So glad to have you here. Second off, again, make sure to share this feed so everybody knows that you are tuned in, and everybody knows that this series is back up and going. This was a fan favorite last winter into the spring, and we want to make sure it's a fan favorite right now. Into the green here at heat race number 4 of 5. Immediately it's Ross Van Eck out to the race lead. The 444, but he's got company. Here comes the 24 of Shooter Plagueman. Plagueman will work the inside as they get to turn number 3. Matt Jaretowski on the high line and Michaela Volts on the bottom. Throw a blanket over him as lap number 1 going to be led by Shooter Plagueman from the 3rd row, 2nd row. Towski into the wall, the 1J. Kyle Roseboom going to make contact with him. Both those drivers losing several positions in this 4th heat race. Now Michaela Volts, the 23 machine. He's got the 2nd spot, but company coming from Ross Van Eck. Van Eck in the My Race Pass 444, trying to get it going around the outside of the speedway. Here comes John Coots to the inside, the number 13 machine. Mr. Consistent last year, picking up a position. Coots up to the 3rd spot, but Colton Anderson, the 514, he's got 23 on his car, picking up a position. He now runs in 3rd and puts the 13 of John Coots into the final transfer spot just in front of the 44 of Van Eck. Here you see an onboard look with the 13 of John Coots. Down the back straightaway, he's about 6 car lengths in front of Colton Anderson. They head into turn number 3. Coots working the bottom. In the distance there in front of him, you see the 23 of Michaela Volts, and in front of them is your race leader, Kevin Plagueman. Right now, the top 4 spacing out. Van Eck has fallen to the 5th spot. Aiden Lloyd is up to 6th in the 99. He's got 72 on the side of his car tonight. Kyle Roseboom was started up towards the front. We talked about his problem. The 42 machine runs in 7th. Austin Hahn and Benjamin Schaefer run 8th and 9th. Matt Jaretowski retired early out of this heat race with damage. It is all Shooter Plagueman. They're cheering him on from all the way from Oregon tonight. He has the lead, and it is a good one. 1.9 seconds over the 23 of Ice Cold Michelob. Michaela Volts, 2 laps to go. Kevin Plagueman so strong here last season on tracks when the top side would come in, and that's exactly where you see him running right now here in the Shores Racing heat race number 4. He'll leave the top side as he comes to the white flag. A little bit of traffic in front of your race leader, but should not be a factor on this final circuit. Blakeman off of turn number 2. Still Volts trailing him by 1.9 seconds. Coots and Anderson continue to run in the transfer spots as we come to the checkered flag of heat race number 4, brought to us by Volts Concrete. And it is Kevin Blakeman picking up the win in car 24. Caleb Volts will finish second. John Coots finishes third, and Colton Anderson will go into tonight's A main by finishing in the 4th spot. Ross Van Eck was 5th. Aiden Lloyd charged up to finish 6th. Kyle Roseboom was 7th. Austin Hahn 8th. Benjamin Schaefer 9th. And Matt Jaratowski will be credited with 10th in heat race number 4 of the Restead Design Center heat races, brought to us by Shores Racing. One more heat race here to go on this first of 10 weeks of the SODAK iRacing series, presented by Asphalt Pros. And heat race number 5 will be brought to us by Jack's Custom Rods. Jack's Custom Rods, specializing in handmade custom ice fishing and long rods, and they're all built to your exact specification. Look up Jack's Custom Rods on Facebook to learn how to get your own handmade Jack's Custom Rods. That's Jack's, J-A-K, apostrophe S, Custom Rods. And look them up on Facebook. Heat race number 5, the final heat race tonight, will go like this on the starting grid. The 49 of Brock Stout, he's going to start on the point here tonight in the number 49 ride. Starting outside of him on the opening row, the 71, that's Kevin Rost. Row number 2, Mitch Lupkis, the number 6 car. Filling in for him tonight will be Nick Bienhoff, is on Mitch's ride. So the late model ace trying his luck with a sprint car tonight. Timothy Allerdings, the 227, the modified racer, starts outside of the second row. Third row, Jordan Opdahl in the 41 on the inside. Dylan Workman, the 75 machine. It's some different paint work on the 75 tonight. He's debuting. He'll start in the 6th spot. Starting 7th on the grid, the number 51, they call him the Beef. That's Elliot Amdahl. Multi-time IMCA Sprint Car Feature Event winner around the area. Also picked up his first career MSTS win this past summer in 360 sprint competition. The Beef starts in the 7th spot. Travis Johnson, outside of him, the 88, starts in the 8th spot. And 5th and final row, Dominic Dobish in the 09 inside. And outside of him, the 63, Anthony Anderson in the 5th and final row. That's the starting grid for our Jack's Custom Rods heat race number 5. 4 more tickets to the big dance up for grabs. And we're just about to get set to kick off this heat race. Pace truck will dip in. I've decided we're going to call it Wally drives the pace truck in honor of the Knoxville Raceway. And we are set to go, and they are stacking up on the heat race. Somebody got out of shape there on the start, and a lot of bad happening on the front straightaway there. Several cars involved. Kevin Rost has trouble. Like Anthony Anderson, Dominic Dobish, all into that. Everyone continues on. We get no cautions in the heat race action as we go up front. Dylan Workman, the 75 machine, he will lead the opening lap of this final heat race. Brock Stout in the 2nd spot. Jordan Opdahl runs 3rd, and Nick Bienhoff right now in the 4th spot, representing Mitch Lupkis quite well here tonight. As you see the onboard look from the 49 of Brock Stout, you can see the 75 of Dylan Workman working it in front of him. Stout a little bit loose there off of turn number 4. You see the track starting to slick off. We talked about this speedway, how it gets very slick, and the margin of error on the top of this racetrack will get narrower and narrower and narrower. And that's exactly what you see happening on this racetrack right now. We just look back to the 4th place running Jordan Opdahl in the 41 machine. Contact with Bienhoff there. Bienhoff goes around and out of a transfer spot. Jordan Opdahl now runs 3rd, and in the 4th and final transfer spot is Timothy Allerdings in the 227. And let's take a look back at Allerdings in the 227. He's got a little bit of company there behind him by about 4 car lengths. That's the 51 of Elliot Amdahl. Amdahl right now has advanced 2 spots since the drop of the green. He needs to go 1 more position to go directly to the A main. As we say that, Allerdings closing in just a little bit on Jordan Opdahl, and then Allerdings a little bit loose off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes the 51 of Elliot Amdahl. He works the bottom. Allerding slips up the racetrack just a little bit as we go on board of the REA Hybrids Royal River Casino car number 51. Amdahl works the bottom. Allerdings just in front of him. Allerdings has the final transfer spot. Down the back straightaway they go. Amdahl's got to run. He'll get to his back bumper, looks to the inside, slides up, and oh, they touch tires. Getting into turn number 3. Elliot Amdahl now in the final transfer spot as Allerdings collects it up and rushes it down into turn number 1. 6 laps in, it's all Dylan Workman here in the Jack's Custom Rods Heat Race number 5. Dylan Workman, the 75 machine, out to a, how can that be right, 5-second lead for the 75 of Dylan Workman, laying it down in this final heat race. Brock Stout still in the second spot. Jordan Amdahl, Elliot Amdahl. Oh, now Timothy Allerdings and Elliot Amdahl. They're battling once again. Amdahl has the spot, but Allerdings has chased him back down. We'll take a look at that. They come off of turn number 4. Allerdings ripping the high side, and he'll have the advantage, and they nearly touch as the 51 of Amdahl back into the position into turn number 1, but that was the checkered. Oh my, how close was that at the line? Dylan Workman is going to pick up the win in heat race number 5, brought to us by Jack's Custom Rods. Caleb Volts. No, that was not right. Heat race number 5. It was Workman picking up the win. Brock Stout in second. Jordan Amdahl and Elliot Amdahl by a slim margin, less than half a tenth of a second. Amdahl finishes in the 4th spot, goes directly to the A main. Allerdings was in 5th. Mitch Lufke's number 6 finishes in the 6th spot with Nick Bienhoff behind the wheel. Dominic Dobish was 7th, Travis Johnson 8th, Kevin Ross 9th, and Anthony Anderson in the 10th spot. All right, feature action up next. It is time to get into tonight's C main event. Top 4 finishers out of this C main will go into tonight's Caleb Johnson Racing B feature event, and it's a big C feature. Anthony Anderson will start as 17th, row number 8. Andrew Chenoweth outside, Matt Jaratowski inside in the 1J. Starting in the 14th position, that'll be Christopher Murray, and inside of him, starting 13th, Evan Miller. Starting outside row number 6, Dylan Sampson, and inside the 6th row, Kevin Ross in the 71. Top 10 starters, Benjamin Schaefer in the 89 starts 10th. Dan Roman in the 91 will start in position number 9. Starting 8th, it's the 14 of Andrew Allers. Corey Goodall in the 333 will start 7th on the grid. Lining up 6th is Travis Johnson in the 88. Austin Hahn starts 5th in the 500. Row number 2 on the outside, Alex Tijan in the 32. Inside the 2nd row, Brian Hoeing in the 132. And your front row has the 16 of Travis Bott on the outside. And Dominic Dobish in the 09 will set the pace for your C feature event here tonight for the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. So top 4 finishers after this C main will keep their Datsun shoes on, and they will go to tonight's Caleb Johnson Racing B main, where we will take the top 4 finishers directly to tonight's A main event, brought to us by Buzz Be Gone. So right now, 17 cars on the speedway, 4 of them advance to the B main. 51 total cars here tonight as we go green on tonight's C feature. 8 laps the distance, so quick 8 laps at the top 4 moving on. Right now, Alex Tijan has that final transfer spot into 32 as Travis Bott takes that State Bank of Fairmont. Greg Baker Racing looking number 16 out to the race lead. Dominic Dobish runs in second. Alex Tijan now 3rd, and we're side by side for the 4th spot there as they came off turn number 4, the 333 of Corey Goodall. Now his final transfer spot. He'll slip up the speedway, trying to get that momentum built with the 132 of Brian Hoeing, the Hooters Racing number 132 all over him. As we go on board with the 132 of Brian Hoeing, you can see the 333 of Corey Goodall working in front of him. Goodall through the middle of the racetrack. Hoeing ripping the cushion, and he's got to run off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Good drive off the corner for the 333 of Corey Goodall. Goodall continues to run in the final transfer spot. He'll enter higher this time in turn number 3, but he's still a core length off of the cushion. Can the 132 of Brian Hoeing get the momentum built up and get into that transfer spot? That is the question. 3 laps in, 5 laps to go on this C-main event, and it remains a hotly contested transfer spot. Travis Bott, Dominic Dobish, Alec Tijan continue to run 1, 2, 3, but the race is for the transfer spot. Corey Goodall has it, Brian Hoeing wants it. They battle back into turn number 1. Hoeing on the very top of the racetrack, makes contact with the concrete, gets the car sideways, and that's going to take him out of contention. A little bit of breathing room now for Corey Goodall as Andrew Chenoweth runs behind him, but he's 1.3 seconds behind Goodall. Goodall runs in the 4th and final transfer spot in the triple 3. It's Bott, Tijan, Dobish, and Goodall, the top 4 in this C-main. Dobish a little bit loose there off of turn number 2. They make it down to turn number 3. We ride with Corey Goodall in the triple 3. You see Dominic Dobish in front of him. Red wing, blue car. Dobish right now, the 09, runs in 3rd. All of them in the top 4. They're just minding their own business. As they do that, Andrew Chenoweth is coming and coming hard. Here comes the number 43 machine. He's gone plus 12 from the drop of the green on this one. Final turns here coming up. The 43 of Chenoweth just snuck into the final transfer spot. Chenoweth repping the cushion on the outside. He'll get by Goodall. Goodall now 1 spot out. The white flag is out. Travis Bott navigating to the checker flag. He'll pick up the win. Alex Tijan making his way off of turn number 4. Dominic Dobish has company. Dobish trying to fend off the 43 of Chenoweth. He will do so. Travis Bott will get the win. Alex Tijan goes 2nd. Dominic Dobish is 3rd, and going plus 13 positions, Andrew Chenoweth from deep in the field in tonight's C-main will transfer on to the Caleb Johnson Racing B feature event. What a finish on that one. What a run for the honor to move on to this B main. In this B feature event, we will take the top 4 finishers, and they will go to tonight's A main event brought to us by Buzz Be Gone. So 4 more tickets to the A main up for grabs on this one. Here's your starting lineup for tonight's Caleb Johnson Racing B main. Starting on the pole, he'll drive the number 22 car out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's Caleb Johnson. And outside of row number 1, it's Brett Nielsen in car number 10. Row number 2 on the inside, number 125, it's Lance Ripka. And lining up outside the second row in the MyRace Pass 444, it's Ross Van Eck. Row number 3 at a 227 of Timothy Allerdings on the inside. Outside, the defending series champion, the 97 of Tanner Koster. 4th row has Shane Lewis, the 25. Outside of him, that's Bob Bessman out of Harrisburg, South Dakota in the number 15. Aiden Lloyd is going to start inside the 5th row. He lines up 9th in car number 99. To his right, that's Mitch Lupkus. The Mitch Lupkus car driven by Nick Beinhoff. It's car number 6. We go to the 6th row. Joe Backus, the 46, inside. Dobie, Peyton Seitz going to be outside of him, starting 12th in the 325. Ryan McCarty, the 111, starts 13th. Kyle Roseboom, the number 42. Keep an eye on him. He'll come from 14th on the grid. And then your B-main transfers. Travis Bott, the 16. He'll start 15th. 16th on the grid, the 32 of Alex Tijan. Dominic Dobish starts the 17th spot. And outside of row number 9 will be the 43 of Andrew Chenoweth. That is the starting lineup for tonight's Caleb Johnson Racing B feature event. Again, the top 4 finishers out of this 10-lapper go into tonight's main event brought to us by Buzz Be Gone. All right, well, we've already watched a driver come from deep in the field in one of these last chance feature events. We'll have to see if somebody else can do it in this one. But right now, it's Caleb Johnson and Brett Nielsen setting the pace side by side on that opening row. You've got a lot of talent. And that's what happens when you've got 51 entries. You've got a lot of talent in a B feature event. 10 laps to decide. As Jerry Van Sickle would watch The Bachelor and Bachelorette, we'd say there's 4 roses up for grabs. Who's going on a big date here tonight? We'll find out in 10 laps. Caleb Johnson's going to lead him down into turn number 1. The 22 immediately out to the race lead. You can call it a hornet's nest behind them. The 125 of Lance Ripka in the second spot. Shane Lewis runs third. Timothy Allerding side by side with Brett Nielsen for the final transfer spot. Here comes the 97 of Coster Rip at the top, coming after them. Anybody's guess how this is going to shake out as a couple cars get together on the front straightaway. We stay green for the time being. Down the back straightaway they go. Brett Nielsen continues to run in the fourth spot. Travis Bott is up to fifth. Travis Bott from the B main up to fifth in just one complete lap. Lap number 2 into the books as that State Bank of Fairmont 16 is ripping the racetrack. Bott now got by Brett Nielsen. He's in a transfer spot. Here comes Nielsen back to his inside. He'll grab it back as they head to turn number 3. Here comes Aiden Lloyd. Lloyd working the bottom. Bott on the bottom as well. So many of the drivers now work the bottom of the racetrack, trying to advance their positions or keep their tickets punched to the A main. It is Caleb Johnson out front by 2.5 seconds. Shane Lewis runs second. Lance Ripka in third. Travis Bott has the final transfer position, but looking for insurance. The 16 dips to the inside of the 125, and right now Travis Bott plus 12 positions. He runs third. Lance Ripka now on the bubble. The 125 has the final transfer spot. He runs in front of Brett Nielsen. Nielsen one spot out in fifth. Aiden Lloyd is in sixth. Ross Van Eck in seventh. Andrew Chenoweth runs in eighth. Now Kyle Roseboom up to eighth as Chenoweth just lost a bunch of spots. Dominic Dobish is ninth, and 10th is Alex Tijan. Tanner Coster, your defending series champion. Yeah, he's just pulled the car to the inside. He is done. And so your defending series champion going to start this year in a hole in the points battle, as he's going to have a big way to dig out if he wants to repeat. It's Caleb Johnson, Shane Lewis, Travis Bott, Lance Ripka in the transfer spots. Brett Nielsen right now trails Ripka for that final transfer spot by right about a half second. 6 laps in, 4 laps to go. We go on board with a hard-charging Travis Bott in the number 16 machine. You see the Buffalo Wild Wings 25 of Shane Lewis about 8 corn lengths in front of him. They race back down into turn number 1. Behind them, it is starting to warm up just a bit. Lance Ripka a little loose there off of turn number 2. Brett Nielsen running out of time if he wants to chase the 125 down and get back into the big dance. 8 laps in for your leaders, 2 to go, but still Johnson, Lewis, Bott, Ripka in the top 4. Nielsen still needs to gain ground. He'll do so off of turn number 2. Then the car kicks loose and he'll lose some ground out to 7/10, separating the 4th place running Lance Ripka and 5th place Brett Nielsen. White flag out for your race leader, Caleb Johnson in car number 22. He will bring him around the racetrack for the final time. And it looks like he is set to punch his way into tonight's A main. Off of turn number 4 for the final time. Caleb Johnson goes to the A main. Shane Lewis, he advanced 5 spots en route to finish second. He'll go to the A. Travis Bott from the C to the B. The little alphabet soup for the driver of the 16 tonight. He goes to the A, finishing 3rd. And your final starter in tonight's Buzz Be Gone A main, finishing 4th in this B, was Lance Ripka. So that puts all of the qualifying action for tonight's opening night of events here for the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. It is all into the books, as we'll give you the rest of the unofficial finish for tonight's B feature event. After Ripka in 4th, Ross Van Eck will finish in the 5th spot. 6th place going to Kyle Roseboom. Aiden Lloyd was 7th. Brett Nielsen was 8th. Dominic Dobish 9th, and Alex Tijan finishes 10th. Peyton Seitz 11th. Joe Backus 12th. Bob Bestman 13th. Ryan McCarty was 14th. Andrew Chenoweth completing your top 15 in tonight's Caleb Johnson Racing B feature event. Cars hitting the racetrack now for a couple of minutes of warm-ups on the speedway to get the track dialed in for tonight's A feature event. Let's take a look at how we got here this evening. A little race recap if you're just tuning in with us here on the Advantage Racing Facebook page. We'll tell you how we got here so far. We started the night off with a $25 payout in the Broken Arrow Whitetails Quick Time Awards, going to the driver of the 97, Tanner Coster, the defending series champion. Picked that up with a best lap time of 0.173. Heat race number 1 of the evening won by Bruce Jones with Brandon Grilly, Jordan Gage, and Adam Cooper finishing the top 4. They went directly to the A main with your winner. Heat race number 2 picked up the win by Trade Thiesenbits. In the 53, Ethan Johnson, Tyler Johnson, and Travis Shores also finishing in the top 4 to go directly to tonight's Buzz Be Gone A main. Heat race number 3 brought to us by Volts Concrete. Connor Hamilton, number 3, picked up the win. Austin Opdahl was 2nd, Josh Hofer 3rd. Karsten Hamilton finished in 4th and went directly to the A main. That brought us to heat race number 4, brought to us by Shores Racing, where Kevin Blakeman, the number 24, picked up the victory. Michaela Volts, John Coots, and Colton Anderson all finished in the top 4 and went directly to the A. And our final heat race tonight, heat race number 5, brought to us by Jack's Custom Rods, was won by Dylan Workman, 75, picking up the win. With Brock Stout in 2nd, Jordan Opdahl in 3rd, and Elliot Amdahl got the final transfer spot in a hotly contested battle. In tonight's C main, it was Travis Bott picking up the win. Alex Tesian, Dominic Dobish, and Andrew Chenoweth all transferred from the C to the B. And in the B feature that you just watched, Caleb Johnson picked up the win. Shane Lewis 2nd, Travis Bott, and Lance Ripka going from that B to the A main. So that is where we are right now. A couple of minutes on the clock here tonight for warm-ups to get the cars and track ready for this A feature event. Let's take a look at where some folks are tuning into. If you are tuned in on Facebook now, thank you so much for this. For tuning in for this free event on the Advantage Racing TV Facebook page. So good to have you guys, and glad to see so many people not only sharing but also commenting on the feed. Who do you all got for the win here tonight? That's a great question. Who's going to win the feature event? Comment right now on this Facebook page, the Advantage Racing TV Facebook page. We'd love to see your opinions on that. Trying to pull up the comments here, see if I can respond to any. It's so much burning the internet in my house here. Some things just want to be a little bit slow. But nonetheless, so good to have so many good people tuned in here tonight. We'll do this again next Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Central. Tell all of your friends Wednesday nights here for the next 11 weeks. We'll take the 16th of December. We'll take that Wednesday night off, by the way, for the in December events going on down there in St. Louis. The Advantage Racing crew going to head down and enjoy that event. Next week, Pro Late Models, Lima Land. Take the late models to the Bull Ring. And 2 weeks from tonight, November 4th, 360 Sprint Cars at the Knoxville Raceway. What a great race this series put on last year with 360 Sprints at Knoxville. Looking forward to that again. Modifieds at Fairbury the following week, 360 Sprints at Lanier after that for the first 5 weeks. And if you don't already, make sure to like SODAK iRacing League on Facebook, where you can see some details of upcoming events. And of course, right here on the Advantage Racing TV Facebook page, they'll keep you up to speed on things going on there as well. So a lot of great options to keep yourself tuned in for all of the great events coming up here with the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. Time is up on the practice session. Michael Poncelet chiming in, saying Workman's going to pick the win. B-Main Bandit Caleb Johnson for the win from Austin Lloyd. Ethan Johnson's got some folks pulling for him. Logan's going to pull for Trey Thiesenbits. Got another vote for Dylan Workman to pick up this. David Robinson picking for the Beef. All right, let's find out where they start in tonight's feature event for the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for this main event brought to us by Buzz Be Gone. Starting 24th on the grid, he'll drive car number 125. It's Lance Ripka. And inside row number 12, the 16, transferring all the way from the C main, Travis Bott. Row number 11 on the outside. It is the driver of the number 25, Shane Lewis. And starting inside of him, 21st starting grid, the winner of tonight's B main, the number 22 of Caleb Johnson. We go to row number 10 on the outside. They call him the Beef. It's the 51 of Elliot Omdahl. And starting 19th, he drives car 514. It's Colton Anderson. Ninth row on the outside in the 14, it's Karsten Hamilton. And starting 17th on the grid in the number 1, it's Travis Shores. Starting outside the 8th row, it is the driver of the 04, Adam Cooper. And inside of him, going from 15th on the grid, the number 41 of Jordan Opdahl. We move now to row number 7 on the outside. It's the Jack's Custom Rods number 13 of John Coots. And starting 13th on the grid in the number 94, it's Josh Hofer. 6th row on the outside in the 17, it's Bruce Jones. And inside of Jones, starting 11th from Brookings, South Dakota, 3-time Houston Speedway Micro Sprint champion, Trey Thiesenbitz. We go to the top 10 starters now, and it goes like this. Starting outside row number 5 in the Cabaret car number 3, it's Connor Hamilton. And starting 9th in the number 24, they call him Shooter, Kevin Plagman. Starting outside the 4th row from Rushmore, Minnesota, the 75 of Dylan Workman. And the 7th starter is from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's the 2 of Brandon Grilly. Starting 6th on the grid in the 33, it's Ethan Johnson. And going from 5th in the 20, it's Austin Opdahl. Outside row number 2 from Madison, the 23 of Michaela Volz. And starting 3rd, the 49 of Brock Stout. Your front row, the 02 of Jordan Gage. And on the pole, it's Tyler Johnson in car number 5. That is the starting lineup for tonight's A main event. 30 laps the distance for the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros, and we are green on the Must Be Gone A main. Great line for the second spot as Tyler Johnson races out to the early race lead. The number 5 machine will lead him down the back straightaway as the caution flag flies early on in this one. Karsten Hamilton and Adam Cooper, some trouble over in turn number 2. It's like each of them going to tow to the pit area. All right, well, let's talk about a couple of things that you can expect from caution flags in the SODAK iRacing Series A main events. And these A features brought to us by Busby Gone. Busby Gone, a pest control company located over there in Larchwood, Iowa. They serve your farms, your feedlots, dairy, and residential. For all of your pest control needs, look them up. That's Busby Gone, bringing you tonight's A feature event here from the virtual USA Speedway. By the way, Pivot Company's putting up the $20 Hard Charger Award here tonight. And all season long, we'll have the Back Row Challenge brought to us by Broken Arrow Whitetails. $50 on the line for a front row starter to give up their starting spot, go to the tail. Tonight's winner is going to pick up $50, $30 for second, $20 for third. All right, a couple things I wanted to talk about cautions here with the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. Every driver in this A main is going to get one quick repair. Basically, that's one do-over. If you go to the infield and you need repairs on your car, your crew can do it in no time flat. That's your one quick repair. After you've used that one quick repair, if your car is damaged, if you're involved in an incident, you bang it off the wall, and you decide to take it down pit lane, you're going to sit there anywhere from 15 seconds to 16 minutes, depending on the severity of the damage of your car. So, after you use that quick repair, you got to be strategic, you got to be smart, keep your car in well-running order. Believe me, the damage on these cars, it's realistic. And if you have a damaged race car, it's going to get to be very, very, very tough to drive. So seeing some bonus money coming in there on Facebook, that's awesome. We like to see that as well. Thank you to the 40 people who have shared our feed here tonight. Thank you all so kindly for doing that. And we hope to see you back here for week number 2 next week, 8 o'clock Wednesday Central Time for week number 2 of the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. We are back to green. Tyler Johnson sets the pace. He'll lead them down into turn number 1, top side of the racetrack where they want to be. Jordan Gage, Brock Stout runs second and third. Here comes Michaela Volts. Ice cold Michelob in the fourth spot. Big run from the two of Brandon Grilly right behind them. Brandon Grilly is now right behind Michaela Volts, racing with the 20 of Austin Opdahl. Right in front of Volts there, you see the 49 of Brock Stout as they race into position. Michaela Volts to the inside of turn number one. He'll get a good drive entering the corner, and he has charged up to the third spot now. Brock Stout back to fourth. Brandon Grilly makes a move around him. Brandon Grilly said last night he'd be happy to make the show here tonight. Right now, he runs in the fourth spot with Brock Stout completing the top five. It's all Tyler Johnson out front. 3 laps in the books. 27 to go. 0-2 of Jordan Gage runs in the second spot. We now go on board with the 24 of Kevin Plegman. This is the 9th place car, and you see a hornet's nest all around him. Plegman runs the top of the speedway. You see the 20 of Austin Opdahl slide up in front of him. Plegman changes lines, goes to the bottom. He's got the 53 of Trey Thiesenbitz right in front of him. 4 cars racing right there. Make that 5 cars racing for position right there. With Shooter, they're nearly 4 wide in front of him. A little bit of contact. Plegman goes to the inside of the 49 of Brock Stout. Right now, Stout is 8th. Plegman just shot up to the 6th spot. Coming down the front straightaway, he's got Brandon Grilly on his outside. In front of Plegman, runs 4th place, Dylan Workman. Well, Workman has gone +4 since the drop of the green. The 75 machine runs at 4th as Michaela Volts makes some contact with the concrete. Caution flag flies. Yellow is out in this Buzz Be Gone A feature event. So back under the caution, 6 laps counted, 24 laps remaining unofficially in this A main. Sounding like we've got a replay of the incident that came up here. And I'll have to see if the producer, Ryan Dugan, can tell me anything that happened with that. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a look at that. I just saw the 49 of Brock Stout is on a pit outside in front of Plegman. Runs 4th place, Dylan Workman. Well, Workman has gone +4 since the drop of the green. The 75 machine runs at 4th as Michaela Volts makes some contact with the concrete. Caution flag flies. Yellow. Hope you're all having fun tuned in watching this as I know we're having a lot of fun here tonight. Brock Stout, there as you saw in the replay, just got loose there off of the corner. Things happen so quickly on these straightaways. They're long straightaways, they're wide straightaways, but the cars dance around so much at this high speed here. And as this A main goes along, if you've watched feature events at this virtual USA Speedway before, we described it the other night in practice. It's almost like a motocross whoops section or a mogul section. You will bounce all over the place on these front straightaways, particularly with these 410 sprint cars, the highest horsepower to weight ratio cars we've got available here on the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. Tyler Johnson, your race leader, the number 5 machine. He'll line up on the inside with Jordan Gage on the outside. By the way, we did race last series here at USA with 360 sprint cars. Tyler Johnson led almost the entire duration of that feature event. He lost the lead with 2 laps to go. He was running out of fuel. He's looking for redemption here tonight. He sets the pace. Wally's going to take the pace truck pit side, and we are back to green in tonight's Must Be Gone A feature event. Hayden's giving me a look here, like, Wally who? Caution back out. We've got trouble on the speedway once again. This time a little bit of trouble there for Bruce Jones in the 17. Lost some ground to the field. I'll see if I can get a peek at what happened to the number 17 machine. Oh, he was just in a big pile of cars. Yeah, looked like just ran out of real estate getting into turn number 1. Contact with some other cars. And looks like the 17 of Bruce Jones has some bad luck here tonight as we bring out the caution in this Buzz Be Gone A feature. What the folks at home can't hear is The good folks from Advantage Racing TV and their production facility tonight, they can talk to me and you can't hear them, but they're asking very kindly for the virtual people up along the fence to kindly step back for safety's sake, right? That's what we need them to do. So back under the caution here in tonight's Buzz Be Gone A feature, where it has been all the number 5 car of Tyler Johnson out of Harrisburg, if I'm remembering things right. New look on that number 5 of Johnson this year. You saw the Spider-Man Mopar ride for the 5 car last season. Got a little updated look there. Nice little SODAK on the car as well. Colt off electric number 5. Jordan Gage restarting in the second spot, the 0-2. Good run going. Ice Cold Michelob. Michaela Bolts restarts third. Dylan Workman, we know he's going to be up there on the cushion in the 75 car. Restarts in fourth. And Kevin Plagman, he's also strong up there right next to the concrete. The number 24 car restarts in the top 5. Brandon Grilly right behind them in the 2. The 53 of Trey Thiesenbitz in the 7th spot as we get set for the green flag. Austin Opdahl, John Coots, and Travis Shores completing the rest of the top 10. Right now, the hard charger would go to the number 1 of Travis Shores. In the 10th spot, he has advanced 7 positions thus far. Keep that in mind. We've got the Pivot Company's $20 hard charger award up for grabs at the end of tonight's feature event. Single file restart here with 6 laps in tonight's Buzz Be Gone A feature event. Tyler Johnson brings us back to the green, leads us down into turn number 1. Here comes Michaela Bolts on the inside line, challenging Jordan Gage for second. With Bolts on the bottom, that opens the top line for the 75 of Dylan Workman. Workman builds the momentum, right rear up against the concrete, trying to build. As you look back from Jordan Gage, you see the 75 of Dylan Workman now up to the 3rd spot. Michaela Bolts is on his inside. Kevin Plagman is just behind Workman. He's on the top side, and in fact, Plagman now around the outside of Bolts into the 4th spot. A little bit of touch of the concrete. Jordan Gage out of shape. He's going to collect it up and continues on, but now it's Tyler Johnson leading. Dylan Workman in second. Gage runs third, slides right in front of Plagman. And Michaela Bolts still in the top 5. Yellow flag waves. This time trouble for the 0-4 of Adam Cooper. Cooper now making the turn off of turn number 4 down into pit lane. Let's see if we can see what happened here, at least on my screens for the 0-4 of Cooper. Just had trouble getting into turn number 3, got up on the wall and took the car for a ride and was able to get it back down on the tires and take it down pit road for a repair. So that's what brought us under the caution here in this Buzz Be Gone A feature event. Things heating up front, as also we see on the pit lane is the 20 of Austin Opdahl. Austin Opdahl heading down pit lane for a repair. Was in the top 5 earlier in this event. He'll take the Opdahl Farms car to the attention of his virtual crew. There'll be a double file restart on this one. I do believe the 5 of Tyler Johnson is your leader. He's got Dylan Work now in the 2nd position. The 0-2 Jordan Gage, very lucky to hold on right now in the 3rd spot. Was running 2nd, got the car loose after banging off the wall. Was able to collect it up, didn't cause too much chaos, and didn't cause any damage to his car. He continues to run in the 3rd spot. Kevin Plagman up to the 4th spot. Michaela Bolts completing the top 5 when we go back to the green. And the number 23, you see the 23 ride of Michaela Bolts here as we get the signal. We're 1 away from the green. The 53 of Trey Thiesenbitz going to start right alongside of him as they come back to the green. Now keep an eye on this racetrack. We're still very early on in this one. We've counted 10 laps, I do believe, in this A feature event. 30 laps is the distance, so we're only a third of the way into this one. In fact, 9 laps in. This racetrack will transition very, very quickly and get very, very slick. A lot of the drivers, when it gets slick, will dip to the very bottom of the racetrack. The bottom will eventually become the groove. The bottom will likely wear out at some point as well. We learned last night you can go back to the top once the bottom is worn out. So just when you think this racetrack is done for in its single file, it will surprise you, and another groove will work in. Keep that in mind as we go back to green. Tyler Johnson brings us back to turn number 1. Here comes Gage on the bottom, and we've got trouble on this restart. Some cars deep in the field have tied up on the front straightaway. And more bad luck for Bruce Jones, the 17 Garmin car, trying to get it righted to tag the tail of the field. So back under the caution in this Buzz Be Gone, a feature event. This is one of the more difficult tracks on the SODAK iRacing series, and then this might be my fault a little bit too. When we were talking in the off season about classes to run, one of the classes I brought up was 410s. I thought we needed to do a 410 race, and it just so happened that it would fall here at USA. This track is difficult. You've heard me talk about how slick it gets in the night. It gets rough. There will be a big hole on the top of turn number 4. And, in fact, if you watch carefully when they come through turn number 4, you'll see where the track gets dark and slick, and then there'll be a lighter brown spot. That's where the hole is, and that can throw the car any which direction it wants to if you hit that slick spot a little bit awkwardly. So keep an eye on that as these drivers make their way off of turn number 4 particularly. There's also, when you get into turn number 1 on the very bottom of the racetrack, if you get down in the grass right there at the end of the pavement track pit road, there's almost a jump if you get your left side tires onto that grass. That will upset the car greatly. So keep that in mind as well. And then watch these straightaways. You will see these cars, and when you're on board, listen carefully, you'll hear the RPMs if you ride on board. You'll hear the RPMs bounce up and down. These straightaways will get so rough, particularly right up there along the concrete. At times, not saying it's always true, but at times you'll see these drivers move away from the wall on the straightaways and down into the moisture, and you'll see them actually gain time. Now, 98 times out of 100 when you're racing on an oval, you want to be up as close to the wall as you can be when you're getting into a corner. That's just geometry. That's just knowing your angles and keeping your speed up. But sometimes here at USA, the straightaways get so slick and so rough that you will want to actually move down and give up some of the angle getting into the corner. All right, enough analysis. Let's go back to green flag racing. Tyler Johnson brings us to the green and the Colt Off Electric number 5. And the Buzz Be Gone A main event is back underway. Again, Jordan Gage going to try the bottom with Dylan Workman on the top. Workman with the momentum. He'll lead him down the back, or he'll run in the second spot down the back straightaway. Gage runs third, Bolt's in the 4th spot. Tyler Johnson continues to lead, ripping the cushion down the front straightaway. 12 laps in of this 30-lap main event. Kevin Flegman now runs 4th. Trey Thiessen gets into the top 5. Here comes Flegman around the outside. He'll get the position from the 0-2 of Jordan Gage. Shooter, Flegman on the move. Gage trying to battle back on the inside line. Side by side for 3rd off of turn number 4. It's Flegman with the advantage, and he's got a big run coming up right there to the back bumper of the 75 of Dylan Workman. We go on board Caleb Johnson. He's advanced 13 positions. The 22 of Caleb Johnson now in 8th. He is right behind Michaela Bolton, now pulls behind the tail tank of the number 1 of Travis Shores. Shores has gone plus 11. Johnson now gone plus 14 as Bolts gets into the front stretch wall and loses a couple of spots. Side by side, a little sideways, a little contact. Here comes Brandon Grilly around them. Brandon Grilly now up to the 6th spot in the number 2. The 22 of Caleb Johnson is 7th. Travis Shores runs 8th. Josh Hofer is 9th. Shane Lewis completing the top 10. Lewis, by the way, started 22nd and is up to the 10th spot. Out front, it is Tyler Johnson, your race leader, by 1.4 seconds. Dylan Workman in 2nd. Kevin Flegman still rim riding right there behind Workman as we go under the caution in this feature event. A little trouble here on the front chute. So Bruce Jones pulling away. See the 51 of Elliot Amdahl coming out of the work area as we go under the caution, just past the halfway point in this Busby Gone A feature event. Oh, and there's a car on its side. That looks to be the 41 of Jordan Opdahl. So Jordan Opdahl with trouble over there in the second turn. I'll see if I can get a look at what happened to the Jordan Opdahl construction car number 41 on this caution period. Oh boy. Well, it looks like Michaela Volz was racing for position with the number 20 of Austin Opdahl. They banged wheels in turn number 2, and then Austin Opdahl came down the racetrack and got into Jordan Opdahl. Yeah, they're going to be able to discuss that at Thanksgiving dinner here in a couple weeks. That also collected the 125 of Lance Ripka in the incident. So several cars involved there in the incident over in turn number 2. We see Jordan Opdahl is still on pit road getting repairs. Austin Opdahl has been able to tag the tail of the field, as has Lance Ripka. So a lot of action in this Busby Gone A feature event. Tyler Johnson, though, seeing all of that behind him in the number 5 machine. Tyler Johnson, Dylan Workman, Kevin Plegman, the top 3. When we go back to green, Jordan Gage and Trey Thiesenvitz completing your top 5. Thiesenvitz, by the way, picked up the win in last night's practice event that we do every Tuesday night. Hey, by the way, if you are on iRacing and you're in the South Dakota, Southwest Minnesota, Northwest Iowa, Northern Nebraska-ish areas, make sure to look up the SODAK iRacing drivers only page, and you can contact Troy Shores and the admins there on how you could be a part of the racing action with the SODAK iRacing series presented by Asphalt Pros. All right, back to green. Tyler Johnson works us down the front straightaway. Again, Jordan Gage taking a look for the second spot, but could not make it stick on the bottom. In fact, the 53 of Trey Thiesenvitz may be the benefactor. Gage is going to change lines, goes up to the top. Thiesenvitz to the bottom. Looking for 4th is the 53, and Trey Thiesenvitz has it. +7 now in this A-main event for the driver out of Jasper, Minnesota, now making his home up there in Brookings, South Dakota. Thiesenvitz a little loose off of turn number 2. Here comes Jordan Gage back after him. Looking back on Thiesenvitz, you see Gage in the 0-2 behind him, and just behind them it's Caleb Johnson, who has advanced 15 positions since the drop of the green flag in this Busby Gone A-main. Again, Thiesenvitz in 4th, or is he? Jordan Gage to his inside. Thiesenvitz ripping the cushion off of turn number 2. He's got the 4th spot. Gage back to 5th, Caleb Johnson in 6th, Brandon Gurley 7th, Travis Shores 8th, Josh Hofer's 9th, Shane Lewis is 10th. Out front, it is still the 5 of Tyler Johnson. Dylan Workman not far behind him, as is Kevin Plegman. Let's take a look up front here as we see the 5 of Tyler Johnson a little bit loose off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, Workman's got to look to his outside. That'll put Johnson, he'll have to go to the bottom. Workman on the cushion, side by side for the race lead. And we've got a new race leader at lap number 20. It's the 75 of Dylan Workman. Workman looking back, he's got Kevin Plegman coming with him. They charge around the outside of the 5 of Tyler Johnson. They run 1-2. Dylan Workman, Kevin Plegman, 1st and 2nd. Johnson back to the cushion now in 3rd. That's happening about 9 car lengths in front of the battle for 4th between Jordan Gage and Trey Thiesenvitz. Top 3 all rim ride around the USA Speedway. Looking forward from Tyler Johnson's number 5 machine, you see Kevin Plegman, who has gone +7 from the drop of the green flag, and the 75 of Tyler Workman, who has advanced the same number of positions. Top 3, nose to tail, down the front straightaway into turn number 1. How patient will Kevin Plegman be? Can he get a run on the race leader and throw the slide job? Dylan Workman elbows up as they go to turn number 3, ripping that top side, which is about 6 inches off of the concrete wall. Off of the 4th turn, through the bump, down the front straightaway. It's Workman, Plegman, Johnson, and here comes Jordan Gage back into the mix. Top 4 cars breaking away down the back straightaway. 23 in of this 30-lap main event. Cushion getting thinner and thinner. Track getting slicker and slicker as we go on board Jordan Gage in the 0-2. He'll dive to the bottom, as does the 5 of Tyler Johnson. Johnson unable to clear the 24 of Flagman. They will lose ground on the top 2. As they did that, the 75 of Workman able to get out to 0.6 of a second. As Johnson gets in the wall, Gage gets into him. Caleb Johnson into them, and that is a big shakeup outside the top 2. So Dylan Workman, Kevin Plagman first and second. Caleb Johnson plus 18. He's now third. Jordan Gage is fourth. Trey Thiesenbitz in fifth. Brandon Gurley, Tyler Johnson, Josh Hofer, Travis Shores, Shane Lewis, your top 10. Dylan Workman, the 75, leads, but by less than 0.2 of a second. We've got 26 in and 4 laps to go. When can Plagman deliver the big slider? How much patience does the driver they call Shooter have in that number 24 machine? We go on board with Kevin Plagman in the second spot. He dipped a little bit lower off of turn number 4, trying to avoid the bumps. You see the car bouncing up and down on the straightaway. We work on now off of turn number 2, trying to get a run. Workman gets a little bit loose. Can Plagman get the run down the back straightaway? He cannot. Workman out to 0.3 of a second on the lead. They rim ride off of turn number 4. Lap number 28 in the books. Just a couple of laps to go here at USA. A 2-car shootout out front. Caleb Johnson behind them by about 1 second. An 18 position charge from the drop of the green flag up to third. Here comes Dylan Workman and Kevin Plagman off of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway. White flag is out. Can Dylan Workman get the win on the opening night, or can Kevin Plagman shoot his way to the win? Back straightaway for the final time, heading to turn number 3. They'll enter on the top. Plagman goes to the bottom. Can the slide job stick? It will not. It is Dylan Workman from Rushmore, Minnesota wins week number 1 of the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. Kevin Plagman finishes in second. Jordan Gage third. Caleb Johnson in fourth, and Trey Thiesenbitz, your top 5 in your unofficial finish in tonight's Buzz Be Gone a feature event. What a feature event it was. We will hear from your front finishers here tonight momentarily as they will make their way into victory lane, and we'll have an opportunity to talk to those front runners, so stick around for that. If you are heading for the exits here on this Facebook feed, we thank you so much for tuning in here tonight and hope you did enjoy it. We'll be back next Wednesday night here with the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. By the way, got to thank again Asphalt Pros for bringing us all of this action. Asphalt Pros has the experience and equipment for all residential and commercial jobs of any size, whether you're looking to install a new asphalt surface or repair, maintain, or resurface an existing surface. Give them a call at Asphalt Pros for all of your asphalt needs. Set to go here with a trip down to victory lane, and let's talk first. Dylan Workman, you're in the Buzz Be Gone victory lane to start the season here tonight. It got thin up there on the top of the speedway. It looked like you had your work cut out just battling the racetrack.
Oh yeah, I knew coming in you had to be really careful to run the top here, and you knew the winner was going to have to come from running the top. Just takes a lot of laps and a lot of experience knowing how the track is going to react every time.
Let's talk about those last couple of laps. You had to know that Kevin Plagman was right there on your tail. Did it ever cross your mind to change lines and give up that top and maybe try to block an early advance of a slide job?
No, I was committed to running the top, and I just knew that you weren't going to be able to carry enough momentum coming from the bottom to make a slide job really work. I just knew I had to be smooth and hit all my marks all the way through the corner.
What does it mean to come out here on the opening night of the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros with more than $4,000 on the line here this year collectively for all the drivers? A $400 check awaits the point champion at the end of this year. What does it mean to you to come out here and strike first blood with the first win?
Oh, it feels good. picking up right where you left off here in Victory Lane. Really means a lot that a lot of local companies are coming on board and helping us put the show on. And I really appreciate Asphalt Pros, AJ Lusk with the deer farming going on, and I also got to thank Michaela Volts for putting money towards this, and also Tony Rustad with Rustad Designs. This is just huge, and for our second season, it's a pretty big payday.
So many awesome supporters, so much awesome talent here tonight. You come out on top, more than 50 entries here tonight. And as is tradition, last year we started to ask everybody about the combination of track and cars for the upcoming week. So, all right, we'll ask you next week, Pro Late Models, Lima Land. We go away from this big racetrack, and we take the big late models onto the bull ring of Lima Land. What do you think about that one?
I turned a few laps on it earlier this week. I got a little bit of work to do yet to help both me and Tanner get comfortable. I just wish he had a better night tonight. I wish he was on the podium with me too, but I guess things happen, and we'll have to come back next week even stronger.
Well, Dylan, very strong run here tonight, going +7 to pick up the win, taking the lead there just after the 2/3 point of the feature event. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Dylan Workman out of Rushmore, Minnesota picks up the victory. Let's talk to second place finisher tonight. He also gained 7 spots. Kevin Plegman, congratulations on this podium finish. Has to feel good to finish. You never want to finish runner-up, but if you're finishing runner-up to Dylan Workman, that would feel pretty good in my book.
Yeah, it absolutely feels pretty good. I honestly can't believe it. That race was just crazy. There was a little bit of stuff going on the start, and then caution here, then got going a little bit, caution here, you get going again, track starts going away. I mean, there's just so much going on. I dodged something on the start, I dodged a couple things in the middle, I held off it 3, 4, or 5 times so I didn't get into the back of guys, and I honestly can't believe I hit a podium finish tonight. It's awesome. It's honestly surprising. I mean, my shoulders kind of hurt, my neck kind of hurt, and I'm a little sweaty, but I got her done. I'm counting this one as a little bit of a redemption from last season at Lima Land when I was running third and had a little mishap at the end there. So I got a little redemption. It feels pretty good.
I wasn't going to bring that incident up. You did. Talk about the patience inside your number 24 car here in the closing laps to not try anything too crazy there when you were following Dylan around the racetrack. And how tempted were you going into turn 3 on that final lap to try to throw a big Hail Mary of a slide job?
Well, not very. I mean, I gained, couple 2, 3, 4 times a little bit, depending on the lap, but I'm like, I'm not gonna slide, I'm not gonna go low. I like to rip the top, so I mean, I had I got second locked up. I'm not gonna risk anything. I'm just gonna run it as smooth as I can, throttle control, just try to wrestle that ramp out of turn 4 as best as I could and not get into the wall. I had my plate plenty full, just running second, so I wasn't gonna throw anything crazy at Dylan. He's a heck of a driver and wasn't gonna risk wrecking us or anything. So I'm plenty happy with second place.
A great run tonight, finishing on the podium. How do you feel going into next Wednesday night, late models at Lima Land?
Oh, I feel pretty good. I'm gonna get in this week. I've never even actually ran an actual race. I've done some practicing there in the late models, but feel okay. I think I'll get in and practice. We'll run a couple practice nights and we'll see what happens.
All right, congratulations on the run tonight. Good luck next week.
Thank you very much.
Kevin Plegman finishes in second. Let's talk to third place Jordan Gage. Jordan, the 0-2 car looked like on the restarts you really wanted to come after those guys on the front. You were dipping down to the bottom of the racetrack, just couldn't get the run off of the corners that you were looking for, but still very solid podium finish here tonight with that 0-2.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just tried to show my hand at the restarts. I mean, I had a little bit of a gap, I know, pulling down the straightaway, so it felt like hurry up, throw my card. If it didn't work, fall back in line, run the top.
This racetrack gets to be so extremely difficult in the late laps of an A feature like it was tonight. And then there was a whole bunch of chaos kind of around you guys there, third, fourth, fifth place back. How much were you puckered up there a couple times there late in the going of this one, trying to keep your nose clean, so to speak?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do the whole race, was keep my nose clean. Threw a slider on, I think that was Tyler Johnson, who was leading the first part. Threw a slider on him early so I could control the pace, but a yellow came out. But made a few driving errors tonight, so that made me perk up a little bit and just calm down, relax, and try to get a podium out of it.
You're a new name to the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. Looking at the points here, can we expect to see a 0-2 car or an iteration of it and you out here week after week, or what's the plan?
Yeah, I'm hoping to run this full time for the 10 weeks, but yeah, I don't run these sprint cars hardly at all. I mean, I grinded a little bit these last 2 days trying to get a setup in here that I felt comfortable driving, but looks like we have pro lates at Limeland next week, so hopefully we can pull out a win in those.
We'll look forward to that one. Good luck and congratulations on a podium finish here tonight.
Thank you.
That's Jordan Gage, driver of the 0-2. He finishes third here this evening. Kevin Plegman was your runner-up and picking up the win at USA Speedway in the 410 Outlaw Sprint Cars from Rushmore, Minnesota. The driver of the 75 of Dylan Workman. Here's your unofficial finish in tonight's Buzz Be Gone A feature event. Behind those three, your hard charger of the night going 17 positions. And he'll pick up the $20 hard charger bonus from Pivot Companies. That is fourth place finishing driver of the 22, Caleb Johnson. Finishing fifth tonight, the 53 of Trey Thiesenvitz. Brandon Grilly finishes in sixth. Josh Hofer was seventh. Troy Shores was eighth, and ninth place to the 20 of Austin Updahl. The 5 of Tyler Johnson finishes in 10th. Shane Lewis was 11th, Travis Bott 12th, Connor Hamilton 13th, Colton Anderson 14th, John Coots was 15th, Brock Stout 16th, Ethan Johnson 17th, Lance Ripka 18th, Michaela Volts 19th, and Bruce Jones 20th. Jordan Opdahl 21st, Elliot Omdahl 22nd, Adam Cooper 23rd, and Karsten Hamilton 24th in your unofficial finish tonight in the Buzz Be Gone A feature event for week number 1 of 10 for the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. Next week, you heard us talk a lot about it. It is late models. Lima Land Speedway, high banked, bull ring, wall all the way around the place. Think of it as a little bit bigger Huset's type racetrack. That's where we will be next week. Late models coming up next Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Central Time, right here on the Advantage Racing TV Facebook page. And 2 weeks from tonight, 360 sprint cars at the Knoxville Raceway. Every Wednesday night, we'll be back here on Advantage Racing TV's Facebook page, an absolute free broadcast for you, your fans, your family, and everyone to enjoy some off-season racing action. We hope you can tune in, and for those of you who shared and commented, we thank you so much, and we certainly do appreciate it. A big thanks to all of the sponsors of the series, and a big thanks to all the good folks from Advantage Racing TV doing the production back there in their studios over in Northwest Iowa. Scotty, I know he's listening right now. We had a little connection issue with him. Look forward to calling the action with you next week, Scotty DeYoung. And again, for all of the folks with Advantage Racing TV, all the good folks with SODAK iRacing Series, we thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name's Sean Neested. It's been my pleasure. We'll see you again here next Wednesday night for week number 2 of the SODAK iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros. This has been a production of Advantage Racing TV. Good night, everybody, and God bless.